His name is Rashad Hussain. He is now a White House staffer, and he was quoted defending a man convicted of conspiring to help a known terrorist group. He called him a victim of, quote, politically motivated persecutions. Shannon Breen's been looking into this, and she joins us live from Washington. Shannon, can you give us some of the background on these comments that Hussain reportedly made?
Sure, Martha. They surfaced in a 2004 article that showed up in the Washington Report on Middle East Affairs. They had covered a meeting of the Student Muslim Association in Chicago. Rashad Hussain was a part of that discussion. It turned at one point to the case of Dr. Sami Al-Aryan, who was a Florida professor who was being held in a federal penitentiary at the time, and he was accused of links to terrorism. Well, during the panel discussion, the reporter on this piece quoted Hussain as saying, yes, this man was being politically persecuted, and also that he was being used politically to squash dissent. Al-Aryan eventually went on to plead guilty to conspiring to aid the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, a terror group. But what's interesting is over the years, somehow Hussain's quotes disappeared from that 2004 article. They were wiped completely clean, Martha.
It's fascinating. So what's the explanation for that? I mean, where did those quotes go and why?
It's been quite a mystery. We reached out to the editor at Washington Report to find out exactly what happened. Delinda Hanley told me yesterday that the article was edited at some point. She believes, by her estimation, that it was around February of 2009. That's interesting because it would have been shortly after Hussain was named a Deputy Associate Counsel to the White House. But she said she did not recall who requested it or exactly why the changes were made. But here's what she did tell me, quote, I kind of remember a telephone call I made to our webmaster in which I said, well, let's take out the quotes since they have been attributed to the wrong speaker. There were suggestions that the quotes could have come from Layla Al-Aryan, who is Sami Al-Aryan's daughter. She was also on that panel, but there is some confusion about exactly who made those comments, Martha.
Well, that can happen. I mean, sometimes quotes get attributed to the wrong person in error, but you were able to track down the original author of that story, and what did she say, Shannon?
I did. You know, at the time she was an intern. She attended the event for the Washington Report and wrote up the report. But she told me, I'm standing by the story. She said, I worked with Layla Al-Aryan. She's a female. I would never confuse her with Rashad Hussain. I know exactly who said what. Her quote to me was, quote, if I quote someone, it is because they said it. That is from the original author of the article. She's standing by it. And interestingly, after we took that message back to the White House, they came to us and said a White House official did talk to Rashad Hussain late yesterday. He does admit and remember going to the 2004 discussion. He thought it was going to primarily focus on civil rights in a post-9/11 world. But when it comes to exactly whether or not he made those comments, the White House official told us, quote, he has no recollection. So not an outright denial, Martha. That's the latest on the story.
All right.